Did he wash your car? Wow, super. Did you give a deal? What is it usually? Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the February 3rd, 2020 Crest Hill City Council meeting to order. If everyone would please rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ray Solomon.
Here.
Glenn Conklin.
Present.
Scott Dyke.
Here.
John Verche.
Here.
Barbara Scolaire.
Here.
Claudia Gazal.
Here.
Tina Oberlin.
Present.
Marco Colo Pietro.
Here.
Nate Albert.
Here.
Joe Kubal.
I did receive a phone call from Alderman Kubal. He is excused for this evening's meeting. You have before you the minutes of the regular meeting held on January 20th, 2020. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
We have motion by Alderwoman Scolaire, seconded by Alderman Albert for the approval of the minutes of the City Council meeting held on January 20th, 2020. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Marco Colo Pietro.
Abstain.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Motion carries.
You also have before you the minutes of the work session held on January 27th, 2020. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Colo Pietro, seconded by Alderman Dyke for the minutes of the work session held on January 27th, 2020. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
John Verche.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Abstain.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Marco Colo Pietro.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we do not have a business promotion this evening, so we will continue with the agenda items. We have our city attorney here this evening, Mr. Mike Stiff. Mike, any report?
No, you're right.
Any questions of city attorney?
Good report.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Our city administrator, Megan Falera. Good evening, Megan.
Good evening, Mayor. The only item we have before you tonight, as previously discussed at last week's work session, is an ordinance authorizing the sale of real estate owned by the city of Crest Hill.
So move as presented, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Albert, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal, for the ordinance authorizing the sale of certain property owned by the city of Crest Hill. PIN number 11-04-31-110-003-0000. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Marco Colo Pietro.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance number is 1837.
Anything else?
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, that's all this evening.
Any questions of Assistant City Administrator? Okay, thank you. Public Works Department, our Director of Public Works, Tom Meggett. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have nothing on the agenda this evening.
Any questions of Public Works? Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Mayor.
Community Development Department, our Community Development Director, Scott McMaster. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. At this time, I don't have anything on the agenda, but I will be speaking with you further down.
Any questions of Community Development? Thank you. Police Department, our Police Chief, Ed Clark. Good evening, Ed.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I do not have anything on the agenda this evening. The reports are in the packet, and I will entertain any questions.
Questions of the Police Chief? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor's report. The agenda item is the Lockport Township High School Special Olympics Club donation. We did speak about this at last Monday night's work session. It is for the Special Olympics, the college and career community, which is the Special Olympics at Lockport Township High School. They are actually going to be representing Lockport Township High School in the State Olympics, March 22nd and 23rd at Illinois State University. Motion would be in order.
I move to donate $100.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Cola DiPietro, seconded by Alderwoman Overland, for a donation to Lockport Township High School Special Olympics Club. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Barbara Scoler,
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Marco Pietro.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. That is it for the agenda items. The only thing I'd like to say tonight is in regards to Census 2020. And I will tell you that the city of Crest Hill has partnered with the Spanish Community Center and the city of Joliet for the hard-to-count areas in the city of Crest Hill. Myself, Megan Falera, Heather McGuire have been attending several meetings over the last 6 to 8 months with this group and this organization. I will tell you that you will be receiving your letters in the mail around April 1st. I will also tell you, if you do not fill out those census forms, someone will be at your door to knock on them to assist you in filling out the census forms. I will also tell you that there are a lot of scammers out there, and if you are receiving personal emails from the Census Bureau, I would be very careful in responding back to them because it is probably a scam. The Census Bureau will not send you something through an email form unless you ask them a personal question, and then they will respond back to you. So be very careful. When and if, and even if you do fill out your form, somebody may show up at your door just to verify and for auditing purposes. Make sure that they are badged and permitted to be there, and ask them to see their badge and ask them for the expiration date. I will also say that the census comes once every 10 years. Every municipality relies very heavily on the Census Bureau. Those numbers is what creates funding for all municipalities. So every head count is very important to each municipality. No matter how old, a brand-new newborn baby should be counted also as part of the census. And it is our responsibility to try to get as many people filling out the forms and returning it to the Census Bureau. Because at the end of the day, the more people you have in your municipality, the more funding you will get from the government and all the other agencies. So it is very important that everybody takes the time to fill out the forms for the census. I will turn it over to Megan if she would like to add anything to what I said, because this is very important for the city of Crest Hill. And right now, our population is at 20,837. That was from 2010. So it is very important that everybody participate and cooperate with the Census Bureau. And again, you will be receiving that paperwork around the 1st of April. Megan?
Sure. The only item I'd add, Mayor, is that we will be posting copies of what the T-shirts and the badges look like that the enumerators will be wearing. We'll share that with our police department too. If anyone comes to your door and isn't wearing any of these items, it doesn't have the proper identification, you should not answer the door.
And the other thing is, the Census Bureau is offering employment for census takers at $25 per hour. So it is a very lucrative part-time position. And we'll be advertising that through the city of Crest Hill also. We would certainly recommend that we would have Crest Hill residents that would want to participate when they do need to walk door to door. So those forms are online, correct, too? If somebody, or you've actually been handling that.
Yeah. There's a link on our website for anyone who's interested in employment. I know the census is specifically interested in people who are bilingual. I think it's helpful if we have representatives in our own community knocking on our own neighbors' doors. People will be more apt to participate if they see a familiar or a friendly face.
And Vernice Alvarez, president of the Spanish Community Center in Joliet, is going to be here hopefully at the next meeting, and probably one in March or April. And she can go through, even be more specific than what I have been tonight. She is in charge of the census taking for this area. So we invited her to the next city council meeting so she can get all the information out, the phone numbers, and everything else that she would like to speak about. Okay? That's it for the mayor. If anybody has any questions, I'll certainly try to answer them. All right, thank you. City clerk's report. Our city clerk, Vicki Hackney.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have no items on the agenda. Any questions of the clerk's office, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Our city treasurer, Glenn Conklin. Good evening, Glenn.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd like to report regular and overtime payroll from January 6th, 2020 to January 19th of 2020 in the amount of $236,003.03. We have a comp time buyback payroll, which totals at $24,405.80, which is for that same period. The only item I seek action on is I look for your approval of our list of bills in the amount of $397,285.63.
285 or 265?
Like I said, $265.
So moved as presented.
We're amended.
Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderman Cola Pietro for the list of bills. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Barbara Scoler.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Marco Cola Pietro.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you for the catch, and if there's any other questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Questions of city treasurer?
Thank you and good night.
Thanks, Glenn. Unfinished business, we have nothing on the agenda. Anyone? New business. We have a Plan Commission recommendation on case number SU-20-1-1-1 from Lucky Brothers Fuel Station, which would like to be opening at the southwest corner of Caton Farm Road and Route 53. And they are looking for a zoning change from M2 to B3 special use. All the information is in the packet. We have representatives from Lucky Brothers here this evening. I will turn it over to our Community Development Department, Scott McMaster, for some opening comments. Scott?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, Lucky Brothers, as the mayor mentioned, is looking to open a gas station convenience store combo with a couple of restaurants. I will let them elaborate on what they're looking to do, but this will be at the southwest corner of Caton Farm and Route 53, a very much-needed development on Broadway that will bring in a lot of traffic and do a lot of good for that strip between Theodore and Caton Farm. They're represented by Rich Rymek. He's the realtor on the property for that, and he's representing Schmeardeep, Kalpesh, and Sonny, who are both here, as well as Chris from the WT Group, who we've also worked with on some projects in the past. So without further ado, I'd invite them to the podium to just kind of outline what they're expecting to do. And they're looking for a special use for a drive-through. They are hoping to put a Dunkin' Donuts in that location, and the drive-through is needed for that, and that's required a special use for the ordinance.
Chris, just your name for the record, please.
Christian Kolashevsky, WT Group, Houston.
Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity to make this presentation. As was stated, Lucky Brothers are here. They like to build in communities where they want to invest for a long time. The buildings themselves are masonry bearing, very high quality. And as you can see in the southwest corner, as was mentioned by the mayor, Caton Farm and 53, or Broadway, we would be having what's called an inline canopy. There's two types of automotive canopies, a inline or tandem. Tandem is when you have two pumps, which you might be more familiar with historically. But the inline is actually a safer canopy, allows customers to see the opening and go to their spots. And it actually does as much business here in inline 7 will do as much business as a tandem 8. So it's actually using less land, but getting a more convenient car flow. And that's really one of the two aspects of retail petroleum in terms of its viability. One, it needs to seem safe for the customer, and two, it's got to be very convenient. If it's hard to get in and out, people will just keep going to the next facility. Now this is a little bit unique in terms of the we really have like a mini retail center. It's just a little bit over 5,100 square feet. And it's going to have 3 QSRs in it, hoping to have, as was mentioned, Dunkin' Donuts, Crispy Chicken, and Hunt Brothers Pizza. And so it's real Crispy Chicken and Hunt Brothers Pizza. And those 3 elements really need their identification. So as part of the zoning, we're looking at the signage to have a 20-foot high sign and with 70 square feet. Basically to advertise all those 3 businesses plus the Lucky Brothers convenience store itself. And then, of course, the fueling. The fueling in the front is the automotive, and then in the back is the commercial fueling lanes. We very purposely separate the 2 because of, again, the sense of convenience for the auto customer and the sense of safety. They just, for obvious reasons, don't want to be parked right next to a truck when fueling. So we purposely separate those. The route for the incoming trucks would be a left-hand turn. We always try to do a left-hand counterclockwise, always seeing where you're driving. So again, really emphasis on convenience and safety in terms of the flow. Of course, these parking here, we're designating 6 right here and then potential 4 right here. These are not overnight parking. This is not a truck stop. There is not shower rooms. There's not a laundry. There's not a full-serve sit-down restaurant. So it's really catering to those trucks that are already on the road. And it's basically what we call the day runners that are already on the road and either will be going early morning or about mid-afternoon is typically when those type of trucks fuel up. And so we are providing parking for them. Of course, a semi-truck or a box truck will come in and then back up into the space. So that's why that orientation is as such. We meet all the requirements in terms of the parking from the standpoint of the larger building with the 51. So we have the C-store is required to have 22. Technically, we have 35 there, and then we need 3 for employees, and we actually have 4 spaces in the back here for the employees as well. The dispensers, they just count 1 for 1. We have 14 dispensers, 14 parking spaces. So we're not asking for any variation from that standpoint, meeting the setbacks, our FAR ratio, floor area ratio, which is a measure of the density of your facility. We actually have an impervious to pervious. The impervious is only 40%, and the pervious is 60%. I'm sorry. Yes, that's right, 60%. So with that, the allowable is 80%. So we are a lot under the allowable. So we're being good neighbors by offering as much green space as we can. As you can see, we're hoping to do above ground detention in the southern west corner of the site itself. We know we had a meeting with the staff last week just to get some input on utilities and items like that, and also was mentioned that this is on Route 66. So this is not the final elevation, but it's showing the quality of the building in terms of the masonry. All masonry. It's a 4-sided building, which in this sense it truly is. So there's piers on every corner, some interest in changing the colors of the masonry, bringing the elevations forward and backward to create interest like that. But we're going to dress this up a little bit as well as our ID sign with the motif of the Route 66. So looking to probably add some diamond-plated, basically inset plaques that are along the front here to give that motif of the Route 66. And then we would tie that in with the ID sign. So that's where we're at. We're here to answer any questions, and we thank you for this opportunity.
And again, the special use is for the drive-through at the restaurant. Correct. Correct. And nice presentation.
Thank you.
And I will say this, that I think this will be a tremendous benefit to the Route 53 corridor. There are very few gas stations on that corridor. I know the Lucky Brothers has several other properties in the Midwest with the same type of concept. So they know what they're doing. I will say this, that from the first time that I met the three gentlemen, you've been very cooperative, you've been very easy to work with, and we appreciate that. So I thank you for this, and Rich also. It's been a good partnership so far. So with that, I will open it up for any questions that the city council may have.
So you said you had the drive-through on the one side?
Correct.
Is that gonna be just for one of the three establishments or all of them?
Correct, one of Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, of course, you
Yeah.
gotta have your coffee.
Yep.
Are the trucks gonna be predominantly coming off of Caton Farm Road?
Correct.
Into-
That's basically their entrance and exit.
So, coming off of 53, if they're making a right-hand turn,
They will.
does that beat backing traffic up on 53
We're
then?
working right now with IDOT with conceptual review, doing a traffic study and working those details out. Both Caton Farm and Route 53 is IDOT controlled. And so, of course, they're about safety as we are too. And so we'll be working out how they want us to space appropriately a left-hand turn lane, decel lane, etc.
I have a couple of questions. I noticed in my plans that I received as part of the Plan Commission packet are a little bit different than your rendering there. Is that the final plan there?
Right, we had mentioned, we had this great opportunity of getting Dunkin' Donuts to this facility, and so we enlarged the building based upon that. We then increased the parking, where we provided more parking in the front here, a couple spaces here, added an additional employee here. We have the 6 spaces here. We're showing dotted 4 spaces. These would be actually 4 more than what's required. And the reason we have it dotted in, we're way below the threshold of impervious to pervious. So we've got plenty of room there. We're only 40%, we could be at 80%. But what we want to make sure from an economic standpoint is that we can get the entire detention above ground rather than going underground, because that really increases the cost.
And I'm just going to piggyback off of what Marco's comments were about the Route 53 entrance. I mean, there's no way that a truck could pull in there. Will it be properly posted that they wouldn't be allowed in that entrance?
Correct. There will be a sign with trucks and an arrow pointing to the west on the ID sign right here that will establish that route as well. And then typically, yeah, we will define that with signage, yes. One thing different than the CFL customer is they know their routes, and they know their routes to their deliveries, but also for the fueling facilities, they know how to get in, and they plan that course if they're coming from the west on Caton Farm, or if they're coming, from the north, coming south, they'll make sure they make the right turns, the correct turns.
The Plan Commission met back in January, so has there been developments with the state as far as the entrances? I mean...
As you probably all know, IDOT, and just a month away I would be lying flat on my back if I had a response.
Well, but I know that you've been working on this project, obviously, for some time.
We certainly have, and we have submitted to them conceptual review. We got initial comments. They wanted to see a detailed traffic study right away. Usually they will give the conceptual comments, and then you make the full engineering and the traffic study. Here they wanted to push that up ahead of time to take a look and just see the configuration.
So that entrance that is for the truck route on Caton Farm, are cars also able to come that way and come around?
They could go through here. This is more of a relief point.
Well, let's say they were coming
Right
down
in,
Caton
right.
Farm towards 53 and they wanted to go in there.
They certainly could.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Chris, just correct me if I'm wrong, did you say, I know you said that Route 53 is a state road, did you say Caton Farm is a state road?
That's what we were told at this portion.
At that portion?
Yeah.
Maybe the
Because
intersection.
maybe the intersection,
Yeah.
yeah, because Caton Farm Road is under the jurisdiction of the city. And where that truck entrance would be, I would think that would be city of Crest Hills.
Okay.
I would think that maybe they have a certain
Yeah.
setback from the intersection of Route 53 there.
And it varies depending on what they call an SAR route, which 53 is.
Okay.
That it goes further, and sometimes the farthest I've seen them is they've taken jurisdiction over 500 feet.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that would encapsulate.
How far is that
driveway.
one, 53?
This one is like 340
Okay.
something.
You know, not to like reinvent the wheel or anything, but like the new Speedway gas station that was built on Patrick Drive has literally a separate entrance for trucks. Is there possibly an option to have an entrance for trucks a little bit farther west and then have another entrance for, cars and people going to the Dunkin' Donuts kind of thing, instead of that one entrance off of Caton Farm?
We can certainly look at that. We just know that with the new director for IDOT, he came from Division 5 down state. Everything that we've asked for in every community, if we've asked for a full, it's gone to a 3/4. If we ask for a 3/4, we get a right in, right out. And it's been so super conservative that we're trying to appease them on the first time because it takes so long to get through IDOT. And of course, my clients want to get this built as soon as possible. So we're trying. We certainly will look at that and mention it, and quite frankly, if your staff would support that, we would go for that, and that would help in terms of our communication with IDOT.
How many truck stalls are on your current drawing? How many actual semi-trucks could be parked there at a given time?
Again, this is 6 right here, and then potential for four more. And again, no overnight parking. It's not a truck stop. We want them, quite frankly, to use one of or all 3 of the QSRs that are in here.
You got a lot of green space on the west side there. Would you be willing to put a de-acceleration lane in?
That's what we're working with on that, yeah. And whatever the requirements would be.
Any other questions in regards to the special use and the rezoning? Okay, thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
I would ask if there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak for or against the request of, hang on a second. The request of Lucky Brothers for the property at the southwest corner of Route 53 and Caton Farm Road for development of a new gas station, a truck fueling station, and also 3 restaurants on that property. You need to come to the podium. Please state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Bill?
Yeah. Hi, I'm William Slimak. I was just wondering if they were going to have any slot machines there or liquor. Would that would have different licenses, correct?
That would come through the liquor license, and if they are over 3 acres, which you are, correct, on that property, they would have the ability for video gaming if they requested it through the state gaming board.
Would there
But
be-
they would first need a liquor license from the city of Crest Hill.
Would there be enough parking there for people playing the slots or whatever? And you said there was no dining indoors?
Chris will answer that question, not Michelle.
There's some minimal seating. There's about 8 chairs, a couple of tables. So it's not meant for full serve, but anyone who wants to.
Because if you have chicken or whatever, that's a sit-down type.
Yeah, certain items will be offered that are easy to eat while commuting.
Okay.
But also there will be some sit-down.
Okay.
And the parking, again, we're over what the requirement is. And so we have that in.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, second request, if anyone would like to speak for or against the application for Lucky Brothers Fuel Station, case SU 20-1-1-1 on the southwest corner of Route 53 and Caton Farm Road. Please step to the podium, state your name for the record, address is optional. And the third time, if anyone would like to speak for or against the request of Lucky Brothers Fueling Station at the southwest corner of Route 53 and Caton Farm Road for a special use from a M2 to a B3 for a drive-through at one of the restaurants. Please step to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Let the record show that only Bill Slimak has approached the podium with a question to the City Council. This was approved at the Plan Commission level. You have an ordinance before you establishing a map amendment to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of O.M. Lucky Brothers 2 Incorporated. Motion would be in order.
Motion to concur, Mayor. Second.
Motion by Alderman Dyke, seconded by Alderman Verche. Questions or comments of the motion? Roll call, please.
Tina Oberlin?
Yes.
Marco Pietro?
Yes.
Nate Albert?
Yes.
Claudia Gazal?
Yes.
Barbara Scoler?
Yes.
John Verche?
Yes.
Scott Dyke?
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance number is 1838.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome to the city of Crest Hill. I feel your pain with IDOT sometimes, so, again, it's just not here. It's all over. So it's all throughout the state. So welcome to the city of Crest Hill, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of, again, I think this is going to be a tremendous asset and improvement to the city of Crest Hill.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you. Thanks, sir. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
Brand would be something.
How many do you have now?
Thanks. Welcome.
And again, it will be a Shell gas station as of now, correct? Shell gas station, you have seven other establishments in the area, so. All right, great, thank you. Welcome. Okay, anybody else have anything under new business? Committee liaison reports, anyone? I have one. On behalf of the Crest Hill Veterans and Police Memorial Committee, we will be having a meeting here in City Council chambers on Wednesday, February 12th at 1 p.m. For the committee members and anyone else that would like to attend. And this will be to start discussions in regards to our Memorial Day ceremony, which will be held on Monday, May 25th at 2 p.m. So again, the meeting will be on Wednesday, February 12th at 1 p.m. at City Hall. Anyone else on a committee or liaison report? City Council comments. Positive City Council comments. Anything you'd like to share with any of your constituents? We will begin with anybody tonight? Ward 1, Alderman Dyke.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day.
Alderman Verche.
Nothing at this time.
Ward 2, Alderwoman Sclair.
I would also like to wish everyone a very happy Valentine's Day.
Alderwoman Gazal.
Just to announce the seventh graders, boys from Richland, they'll be playing at Morris Saratoga, their sectional championship. So let's cheer for them, and they're asking for parents to attend to show support. And I want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day.
Ward 3, Alderwoman Oberlin.
Well, I would also like to wish everyone a very happy Valentine's Day. I hope Cupid's quiver hits you if you don't have someone. And thank you to Puxatawny Phil for saying spring is coming.
Alderman Coley Pietro.
Nothing this evening, Mayor.
Ward 4, Alderman Albert.
Yeah, Mayor, I just wanted to congratulate I know it's a little bit past, but the 2019 Crest Hill Lion of the Year. He was ill and couldn't make it to the award ceremony back in December, but he came and was presented with the award in January. But Mr. John Rapkin won the award for Lion of the Year. Most of you probably know John. He is a silent member of the Lions Club, but he is a hard worker, and he has been for 30+ years. So if you happen to see John around town, just give him a little congrats.
And he is also a great guy.
Great guy.
Maybe you could teach him to roar.
Yeah.
Okay, public comment. Anyone that would like to address City Council, you need to step to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Wow, double header.
About that. William Slomek again. The property that's going up for sale, that will be in the Joliet Herald as of when and for the bidding? Is that correct?
I will turn it over to my right for that answer.
I believe it's in our ordinance. I think we are going to be publishing it within a few days. And then we'll be opening the bids at the March 14th city council meeting.
So one would have to
March
attend?
16th.
One would have to attend the meeting?
Pardon me?
One would have to attend the meeting to submit a bid? Is that correct?
No, we would expect those to be here by that day, on the
Okay.
day of the meeting.
And the
So-
bids would be turned in where?
Here.
Here, okay. Any specific office or?
You can turn them into the city administrator's office, and I believe we have your contact information. I can certainly send you an email or
Okay.
let you know exactly the procedures to follow so that you can get your bid in.
Okay, because this property for sale is butted up against mine, and nobody, to my knowledge, had any knowledge of it being city property. And we've been there for 45-plus years.
Yeah.
So I've maintained it for 45-plus years. So I just want to be able, I could put a bid in and
Sure.
Right, and this small parcel of property
small
predates
parcel.
all of us sitting here, I believe. With that, when the city incorporated in 1960, it was probably incorporated at that time. But anybody that had any knowledge of back then, it's far and few between of what really took place. So even the city of Crest Hill was unaware that small little strip was in the city of Crest Hill.
I believe there is another parcel similar to what is on mine. What street would that be? On Sycamore. If you guys want to look into that for the near future. I know the house is for sale at that,
Right
that
at
address.
Park Rose?
Sycamore.
Sycamore and Park Rose.
Yeah. Yeah, Sycamore and Park Rose. I believe, thinking back all those years, that there was two units, two pump houses, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's the only thing I could think of, Bill, is that back maybe even prior to 1960, maybe the city thought that would be a future site for a well house, and there is one, approximately a block and a half away from there. So maybe that was their thought at the time. Again, most of those players are no longer with us.
Right.
So
It's been a long
makes
time.
it difficult. We had no record of anything. So back then, the record keeping probably wasn't that good back in the 50s and 60s.
was that Randage as a mayor back then?
No.
No?
First
Before
mayor
his
was,
time?
Mayor Knapp was our first mayor,
Oh, okay.
from 1960 to about 64.
Okay. That's the only question?
Mayor, for clarification, the bids are to be submitted to the clerk's office, and by Friday, March 13th, 4 PM. Okay? And then they'll be voted on the meeting at the 16th, or they'll be open on the meeting the 16th, so by Friday, March 13th at 4 PM.
Okay, thank you very
Not
much.
Monday, okay, just for clarification.
Okay, anybody else would like to address city council, need to step to the podium, state your name for the record, address is optional. Okay, let the record show that only Mr. Slemak has approached the podium with a question. There is a need for an executive session for 2C1 for personnel. I would ask for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderman Elbert for an executive session for personnel 2C1. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Scott Dyke?
Yes.
John Verche?
Yes.
Barbara Scoler?
Yes.
Claudia Gazal?
Yes.
Tina Oberlin?
Yes.
Margot Colby-Petro?
Yes.
Nate Albert?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be going into executive session at 7:40 PM. I will need the police chief, Ed Clark, with us, and Mike Stiff, city attorney, with us. Everyone else is excused.